A new effort is underway to help ensure we get quality care at hospitals in California. State lawmakers have introduced a bill that would mandate surprise inspections of hospitals. The unannounced visits by state regulators would focus on nurse-to-patient ratios. Hospitals are found to be non-compliant. I should say hospitals that are found to be non-compliant would be hit with hefty fines. Of course, the California Hospital Association opposes the measure, saying hospitals already have a mandated nurse-to-patient ratio.
Random inspections and stiff fines might be coming to hospitals that aren't abiding by mandated nurse-to-patient ratios. Labor unions say that hospitals routinely violate that law because the state has no system to actually come in and enforce it. A proposed bill would require the California Department of Public Health to conduct surprise random inspections at hospitals to make sure that they're following that law.
The bill sends a clear message to any hospital not following nurse-to-patient ratios that their actions are not only wrong, but endanger the life of patients that they are entrusted to care for.
And in turn, there would be consequences. Under that bill, hospitals would be fined $30,000 for violations on a first visit, $60,000 on subsequent inspections. A similar bill was vetoed by Governor Brown last year.
Random inspections and stiff fines may be coming to California hospitals not abiding by mandated nurse-to-patient ratios. Labor unions say hospitals routinely violate the law because the state has no system for enforcement. So some lawmakers are working to pass a bill that would require the State Department of Public Health to conduct surprise random inspections at hospitals to make sure they've properly assigned the number of patients to nurses.
The bill sends a clear message to any hospital not following nurse-to-patient ratios that their actions are not only wrong, but endanger the life of patients that they are entrusted to care for.
If the bill passes, hospitals not following ratios would face fines up to $30,000 for a first-time violation and $60,000 for subsequent violations. Former Governor Jerry Brown vetoed a similar bill last year.
A newly proposed law could bring random inspections to hospitals all across California. Authors of this bill say that they're working to strengthen a current law that limits the number of patients that can be assigned to one specific nurse. Labor unions say that hospitals routinely violate the law because there's no system for enforcing it. The proposal would require the California Department of Public Health to conduct random visits at every hospital.
Patients have got to be the priority, and we have to start with making sure that nurses are there, nurses are available, and that the quality of health care is accessible to all.
So under this bill, hospitals found in violation, stiff fines is what they'd face, $30,000 to $60,000. That bill is currently being debated in the Assembly committee hearings. A similar bill was vetoed by Governor Brown last year.
Random inspections and fines may be coming to hospitals statewide under a new measure. The bill would limit the number of patients assigned to a nurse. Labor unions say hospitals routinely violate that law because the state has no system for enforcement. The proposed bill would require public health to do surprise inspections in hospitals to make sure they're following standards. Fines can range from $30,000 to $60,000.
State lawmakers have introduced a measure that would mandate surprise inspections at hospitals. The random visits by state regulators would focus on nurse-to-patient ratios. Labor unions say hospitals routinely violate the law because the state has no system for enforcement. A proposed bill will require California Department of Public Health to conduct those inspections to make sure hospitals follow the law.
A new bill is looking to toughen the law surrounding nurse-to-patient ratios.
Yeah, lawmakers see the bill as a way to make sure that patients get the care they need, but hospitals don't think it's needed. Eyewitness News reporter Jessica Shorter-Bonney explains why. Jessica?
That's right. The California Hospital Association is calling the proposed bill redundant and the financial penalties associated with it unfair.
I think it's just a good way for the government to make money because that's what they're trying to do.
And the government could make thousands off hospitals if this new bill passes. The bill would enforce California's existing law regarding mandated nurse-to-patient ratios by imposing large fines if the hospitals fall short.
The bill sends a clear message to any hospital not following nurse-to-patient ratios that their actions are not only wrong, but endanger the life of patients that they are entrusted to care for.
California is the only state in the country with a law requiring a minimum number of nurses to be working in a specific unit at any given time. But labor unions say hospitals routinely violate the law because the state has no system for enforcement.
It's not a secret that our healthcare system is breaking. That's not a secret to anyone. And it's not a secret that we know that hospitals are doing everything they possibly can to hold on to profit instead of helping people.
Hospitals across the state strongly oppose the bill, saying it is redundant and does not take into account the individual needs of each hospital. With the California Hospital Association pointing out that being forced to meet these requirements won't guarantee better care, just an increase in costs. And locals seem to agree.
Some days you're going to have everybody there, and some days you're not going to have everybody there. That's just the way it works. But if you have to bring them in just to have a certain number in the hospital, you could be spending a lot of money on stuff that you don't need.
The bill is currently being debated in Assembly committee hearings, with a similar bill to this one being vetoed by Governor Brown last year. Reporting in studio tonight, Jessica Shortrabani, Eyewitness News.